Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I'd like to start by thanking His Majesty King Charles III for his speech and echo the comments of many of my honourable friends and colleagues regarding how special it is to be speaking in the first King's Speech debates for 70 years. Today's debate on policing and criminal justice system is of particular significance and issues I often get contacted about as Member of Parliament for Broxtowe. The safety of our families and loved ones must be of the highest priority. It was reassuring to see the sentencing bill announced in the King's Speech. Ensuring we have tougher sentences for the worst offenders ensures that dangerous individuals are off our streets and not endangering our public. I'd like to put on record my personal thanks to all those police officers in the UK who serve our country, especially those within Nottinghamshire, and also thank you to all who work for the police in supporting roles. I single out to mention one individual in particular, Neighbourhood Policing Inspector Mike Ebbins, who I regularly meet with to discuss the specific crimes affecting people in Broxtowe. It is essential that we are keeping our communities safe. This will also be achieved through the Criminal Justice Bill, which is seeking to empower our police forces and justice system to prevent crimes such as digitally enabled crime. I'm glad to see a focus on the welfare of victims. Keeping victims at the centre of our criminal justice system and ensuring that as much support is in place for them is essential. So I welcome these new measures, especially proposals in the Victims and Prisoners Bill to monitor how criminal justice bodies comply with the Victims Code. The bill also sets out plans to improve support to victims, including a statutory duty for partner agencies to collaborate. This bill will have a hugely positive impact for those most needing our support. I'd like to put on record my deep disappointment that a mental health bill was left out of the King's Speech. Since first being elected, I have been campaigning for mental health reform and increased support, which is desperately needed across the UK. I was encouraged recently when the government published the suicide prevention strategy, but it does not go far enough, Mr. Deputy Speaker. I stood in this chamber in 2020 and debated the huge merits that the Mental Health Act White Paper set out. Having a person-centred approach to inpatient facilities, removing autism and learning disabilities from being categorised under the Act as mental health disorders are changes that are missing today, and that is, of course, a detriment to many throughout the UK. I would implore the government to start prioritising mental health reform and do so as soon as possible. The King's Speech also discussed the importance of looking after veterans. As a veteran myself, I am passionate that the UK became the best country in the world for a veteran to live. The government have made huge strides forward in veteran care in recent years, and we have the first ever Minister for Veterans Affairs attending Cabinet in order to prioritise veteran care. We have had many successes in improving services for veterans since establishing the Office of Veterans Affairs, such as the dedicated referral pathways for mental and physical health and homelessness established by Op Courage, Op Restore and Op Fortitude. I recently had the pleasure of opening the first ever military service leavers pathway into policing course, which I have been proud to champion. It is the first of its kind, and I look forward to seeing the service leavers take up their place in Nottinghamshire's police force.
Would my honourable friend give way?
I'll give way.
I think my honourable friend makes a very interesting point on veterans and actually the value that they can contribute not just to public sector employers such as the police service, but also actually to so many private sector employers, and a real driver in terms of raising up skill levels. And I'm not sure if he's got any thoughts of how this could be so much more addressed in the future.
I thank my right honourable friend for his intervention. I completely agree with him. The value of the transferable skills that veterans bring, the team building, the sense of duty, and those things are really, really important and can be transferable in many forms of employment, but particularly the police. So this particular scheme, military to policing scheme, give veterans a direct pathway into the police on the police constable degree apprenticeship. This ensures that skills gained in the military are transferred to a new career that can be entered following a shortened training scheme. So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, to conclude, it would have been remiss of me not to mention my disappointment at seeing incredibly important areas not addressed as they should have been in this speech, such as mental health. However, I welcome the bills that have been introduced in the King's Speech and believe that many will have a directly positive impact on my constituents in Broxton.